similarly to that found in Radiant Silver Gun. The backgrounds are fine, so all in all, it's alright. Enemies, backgrounds, and power-ups follow a generic style, but it's... Hello YouTube. Today we talk about Steam Hearts. Now this Sega Saturn shmup is really known for two things. Being quite expensive for a collector of Saturn game shmups, and being an average shooter with erotic anime scenes. Well, is that really there is to it? Yeah, for most gamers, it will be. Most. Although you might be the other type, you know. The cultured one. So let's see if this one is for you. So let's talk about what the convoluted plot that allows for an Eroge shmup to exist, such as Steam Hearts. Well, there's a virus that's been altering the personality of some of the most powerful people in Wisteria, I believe. And it's for the worse, probably ensuring the destruction of this planet. Our heroes are the two siblings, Flo and Fala, who have an immunity to this personality-altering virus. This team is known as Steam Hearts, and they're out to cure these girls that pilot some fairly devastating mecha by defeating them in combat and then introducing them to Blo's secret sauce that provides the cure. Let's talk about graphically where it stands. The enemy ships look kind of plain in this game, but it's adequate for just any sort of like cannon fodder that you can destroy. They actually do well when some details like being launched from the background to the foreground, like for smaller fighter ships. The bigger capital ships do have these like turrets and missiles that come out, and that is a nice detail when they're firing on all cylinders there. The screen can fill with enemies and shots, but at the cost of quite a bit of slowdown. The various firepower that your ship can use works, but it's not anything fancy, except for the laser sword power-up, which works similarly to that found in Radiant Silver Gun. The backgrounds are fine, so all in all, it's alright. Enemies, backgrounds, and power-ups follow a generic style, but it's not bad. I would consider these to be just average. What does shine through though is, besides that laser sword weapon power-up, is the boss battles. Each girl you meet is equipped with a powerful mecha drawn in a beautiful big detailed sprite. So most of these have multiple moving parts that separate and attack the player, along with the various laser blasts and bullet spreads that they unleash. The 90s anime aesthetic is strong in this one, as it is a product of that time. It has voice-acted talking head scenes in between the battles and after the battles. Even in game over screens, it will appear. There will be a conversation about, well, how you lost, and you know. The gameplay can range from bad to average for a shmup. Mostly average, although instead of one shot destroying your ship, you do have an HP bar, which totals to about 7 hits. You don't get invincibility frames between getting hit, and your hitbox is pretty much your ship, which is on the larger side for a shmup and generally unfavorable for this genre. Found some bullet patterns to be unavoidable compared to other shmups I've played, without constant use of bombs to reset, or the use of the laser sword, which deletes nearly all enemy fire. And yes, if that sounds OP, it really is. The big ship hitbox really adds to the difficulty of this game. When obtaining a power-up, you can expend it as a bomb to clear bullets, but not all of its damage is full screen. One actually adds a temporary shield and a speed up instead. You can store up to 3 of these. One annoying aspect though is that the power-ups float around the screen for a time and are actually hard to avoid. So if you're wanting to keep a specific power-up, this random bouncing power-up can hit your ship and you therefore lose the favored power-up you have and have to use this other weapon. You can expend it like it's a bomb to reset, but it's just annoying that you can't avoid these things from the get-go. I think the music of this game is actually quite good and catchy. Sound effects are nice, and that laser sword sounds really good. Especially when you're moving it around the ship. It's just having a lightsaber on you. It is also home of some very good voice acting. I mean, this is like an anime, in my opinion. It matches with the character design quite well. It's got full 90s anime aesthetics. Now, this is where we start to diverge in opinion. So far, we've described a flawed but average shmup. When we add in another layer of interest, that of a 90s anime fan, it might add a little more to the game's appeal. Like I said, Steam Hearts is a product of its time, having a literal 90s anime character design, and it's thanks to its great designer, Takehiro Kimura. This name may not be familiar to people, but his character design credits include the animes Code Geass, Godanar, Gao Gaigar, just to name a few. Not to mention early works of him having designed characters for Eroge, the Sogna Viper games, and also the Saturn PS1 fighting game variable Geo, which also had an anime OAV. Now, from the 90s. This game started as an Eroge for the PC-98. Later, it was ported to the Super CD, and even later still, remastered to the Saturn. With its character designs and voice acting, it's a neat throwback to something akin to a 90s direct-to-video anime, an OAV. Is this game worth its asking price now? No way. Is it a good shmup for the average casual or a score-chasing gamer? Not really. It's more of a curiosity if you can be comfortable with the fan service, although an arcade mode does exist in the game that removes the scenes altogether. So in my mind, it's a 6 for most people. If you have a particular nostalgia for 90s anime and don't mind its fan service, which is not too explicit, but the voice acting and art does add enough sus to not play this in front of others. I can see this game being a 7 for that particular niche. So, thanks for watching, and you guys have a good day. Laters.